A bipartisan, all-female congressional delegation has returned from their trip to Pearl Harbor, Australia, and New Zealand, where they were led by West Virginia Senator Shelley Capito.
Yeah, their mission to examine security and energy matters in the region, and also to explore issues surrounding the empowerment of women and girls. And here to tell us all about it is West Virginia Senator Shelley Capito. Good to see you, Senator.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Great to be on.
Of course. So let's talk about that first part of the mission. You got a chance to meet with military, business, and diplomatic leaders to talk U.S. security and economic interests. What did they tell you? What did you learn?
Well, we were able to see the Indo-Pacific Command when we stopped in Hawaii. There's when we learned about all of the regional challenges, certainly with China's aggression, with the moves or potential moves on Taiwan. And as we moved into New Zealand and Australia, we really got to talk about the fortification of our allies, our like interests, the military exercises that we have been doing all summer together. So it was, I think, a very insightful trip to help in good decision making, but I think it also really reinforced to me and to all of us that we have real challenges there. We need to have a strong military presence. We need to have cybersecurity and the technologies available so that we can be ready if needed, and we feel like we will be ready when the time comes.
Certainly highlighting those critical issues. Also, though, this delegation, as you mentioned, had the chance to visit Australia and New Zealand, and this happened during the Women's World Cup. And you have often talked about how when you see things like that empower women, it actually makes the world safer. How does the World Cup exemplify something like that?
Well, it was very intentional on my part because I was one of the leaders on the equal play for Team USA. In other words, let's equalize not just pay but also benefits for our USA teams. And the USA women's soccer team obviously had led the way on that. We were really going to watch them, but you know what? They weren't there. By the time we got there, they had been knocked out. But the good news is that the women's leadership globally with team sports, with countries cheering, with coliseums and stadiums filled with families and young girls. It shows you the empowerment of women, of what team sports can do in terms of bringing nations together closer. And the U.S. has been leading in this. So we very much enjoyed meeting with our USA women's soccer, the people who run the federation, and it was a great thing to see. We did get to go to a game, and we did get to meet several of the players. So it was quite an experience.
That's what we love to see. And Senator, unfortunately, this week marks 1 month since the devastating wildfires here in Maui. You got a chance to speak with military leaders and talk about their response. What did you learn from them?
Well, it's just coincidentally that when we came back through Hawaii to come home, we were like 4 to 5 days after the wildfires had begun. What a tragedy, just unimaginable. And we were with General Flynn, who was in charge of the joint response to help the National Guard and other responders to meet the challenges. We went to a briefing. We talked with him about it very extensively. You know, one thing that really stuck with me was the speed which this plume of fire just destroyed one of the most beautiful parts of our country, and certainly of the island of Maui. But then the quick response with the National Guard. We are going to be voting on a supplemental for disaster, and it has to include Hawaii, and it has to be robust. It was just a devastating in terms of life and property.
It certainly was. You also, of course, are a member of Senate Leadership Committee, and there's been these huge concerns over GOP leader Mitch McConnell's health. They've been raised after he seemingly, froze in front of reporters there. And it's important to note that doctors have cleared him to return to the Senate floor. They say there's no evidence of a stroke or seizure or other neurological issues. But you spoke with him after the incident. What did he tell you?
Right. Well, Senator McConnell called me the day after the incident in Kentucky to reassure me he's fine. He feels fine. He doesn't have any residual effects from this. But obviously, as a good friend of his, concern from me and many others. And then I've met with him subsequently here since we've been back in D.C. this week. I mean, he is right on, spot on. He's a great, strong leader. He sees over the horizon of what the future is. He's worked with everybody here. So I have no doubts that Senator McConnell will continue continue to be our leader, and a very strong one at that.
And he said that he's staying put, but some would have to be concerned, especially after this second incident. So no concerns moving forward about his ability to lead?
Well, I think that we all know that, and he is very public about having the fall and the concussion, and I think that the way he's presented it to us is that these are sort of after effects, can be after effects from a difficult concussion, and so I don't see any marked change in. There's certainly no cognitive issues here, and he's just keeping on, and he's a strong man, and I think that if he feels that he is in any way diminished, that he will make that decision, and he'll make it in the benefit not just for him but for the rest of us as well.
All right, Senator, thank you, and good to see you as well.
Yeah, thank you for being here with us this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.